Donald Trump won the 2024 election. His victory secured a second term and reaffirmed his commitment to his core voter base, the American working class. Fresh off his victory, Trump announced a new round of tariffs on goods from various countries. These tariffs, essentially taxes on imported goods, were aimed at protecting American jobs and industries. The most significant of these were the 25% tariffs levied on goods from Canada and Mexico, two of America's closest trading partners. These tariffs were not entirely unexpected. Throughout his presidency, Trump had consistently used tariffs as a tool to pressure other countries into making trade concessions. He argued that these tariffs were necessary to protect American jobs, particularly in manufacturing, which he claimed had been hurt by unfair trade practices. These actions represented a significant departure from decades of U.S. trade policy, which had generally favored free trade agreements. Trump's decision to impose tariffs, particularly on allies like Canada and Mexico, was met with mixed reactions. Supporters praised his commitment to protecting American workers and businesses. They argued that these tariffs were long overdue and would finally force other countries to play fair on trade. Critics, however, argued that these tariffs would ultimately harm the American economy by raising prices for consumers, hurting businesses that rely on imported goods, and sparking a trade war. The stated goal of Trump's tariffs was to protect American jobs and boost domestic manufacturing. By making imported goods more expensive, the administration hoped to encourage consumers to buy American-made products instead. This, in theory, would lead to increased demand for American goods, prompting companies to hire more workers and expand their operations within the United States. However, economists warned that these tariffs could have a range of unintended consequences, many of which could end up hurting the very workers they were intended to help. One of the most immediate concerns was the potential for inflation. When tariffs make imported goods more expensive, businesses often pass those costs on to consumers in the form of higher prices. This could lead to a general increase in the cost of living, making it harder for working families to make ends meet. Another concern was the potential for retaliation from other countries. When one country imposes tariffs on goods from another, it's not uncommon for the targeted country to retaliate with tariffs of their own. This can lead to a tit-for-tat escalation of tariffs, resulting in what's known as a trade war. Trade wars can disrupt global trade, raise prices for consumers worldwide, and ultimately harm economic growth in all countries involved. Trump's tariffs did not occur in a vacuum. The global economy is a complex web of interconnected relationships, and actions taken in one part of the world can have ripple effects that are felt far and wide. When the United States, the world's largest economy, implements significant changes to its trade policies, the impact is felt acutely by its trading partners. As anticipated, several countries responded to Trump's tariffs with retaliatory measures. China, a frequent target of Trump's trade actions, responded with tariffs on American agricultural products, a move that directly impacted American farmers. The European Union also imposed tariffs on a range of American goods, including iconic products like Harley-Davidson motorcycles and Levi Strauss jeans. These retaliatory tariffs targeted key American industries, aiming to inflict economic pain and pressure the Trump administration to reconsider its policies. The interconnectedness of the global economy meant that these tariffs had far-reaching consequences beyond the countries directly involved. For example, tariffs on steel and aluminum, while intended to protect American producers, also raised costs for American manufacturers that use these materials in their products. This, in turn, made American-made goods more expensive, potentially harming their competitiveness in the global market. As Trump's second term unfolds, the long-term impact of his tariff policies on the American working class remains uncertain. The complex interplay of economic forces, political calculations, and global trade dynamics makes it difficult to predict with any certainty whether these tariffs will ultimately help or harm the very workers they were intended to protect. Proponents of the tariffs argue that they are necessary to protect American jobs and industries from unfair foreign competition. They maintain that the short-term pain caused by higher prices will be outweighed by the long-term benefits of a stronger American manufacturing sector. They also point to the possibility that tariffs could be a negotiating tactic, forcing other countries to make concessions and agree to more favorable trade deals with the United States. However, critics argue that the tariffs are more likely to harm than help American workers. They contend that higher prices caused by tariffs will reduce consumer spending power, leading to job losses in retail and other sectors. They also worry that tariffs could spark a trade war, disrupting global trade and harming economic growth, ultimately leading to job losses across various industries. The potential for retaliatory tariffs from other countries further complicates the situation, creating uncertainty for American businesses and workers. Only time will tell whether Trump's gamble on tariffs will pay off for the American working class. The economic, political, and social ramifications of these policies are likely to continue to unfold for years to come.